Afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. How are we all? As always, thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed. If you haven't already and you mildly enjoy this content or find it interesting, then please like and subscribe. Also, to everyone around the world, America and Ireland especially, I see you all. Thank you very much. Your support is very much appreciated. Ben Eubank and the whole drug situation. What a mess this is. What's the saying? Oh, what a deadly web we weave. There's a few things on this I want to discuss that kind of almost get overlooked. Firstly, it is the fact that Robert Smith has come out and he's certainly in the camp of that Ben, and rightly so. First of all, let me just say, I will never ever condone the use of PEDs in sport, and I think everyone who gets caught should be punished. However, I do believe the first-time offender should be given a chance to either prove their innocence or serve a ban and learn from their mistakes. I believe everyone should be given the chance to, in the way that when some people go to prison, they should be able to serve their time, rehabilitate, and then re-enter society and be of some use. And I believe the same in this. There are also levels of drug cheats, aren't there? And Hearn has said, and I'm in agreement, that there is one very famous stroke notorious British heavyweight champion that quite famously failed for nandrolone, I believe, wasn't it? And was treated very differently, almost to the point where it's erased from his history in most quarters. But that's a topic for another video. Ben's treatment has certainly been different to many others. When you consider there are many members of the YouTube boxing press and the official boxing press that in one breath are willing to condemn Ben almost to a life ban. That's the impression they give you anyway. Certainly, some of them have said in interviews that if it's true that he failed this test in the manner that he did, then it should be a ban for life. But in the same breath, these are the same journalists, they would call themselves, that are talking about what an entertaining fight Jarrell Miller, Daniel Dubois is going to be. And they're also the same journalists that will preach about Tyson Fury and his greatness, even though his record on drug use is not great, and PED use. I'm not just talking about recreationals. Now, I want to say that I'm not here to be a sympathiser to Hearn and to Ben and to that camp. I'm just saying there's not a lot of equality given to this argument, if that is the right way to term it. Ben failed the VADA test. He did not fail any test imposed on him by the British Boxing Board of Control, who use UCAD. He passed their test, didn't fail a test by them. He failed the VADA test, the Voluntary Anti-Doping Agency. Now, they're aligned to the WBC. And granted, I will agree on you that in terms of virtue and credibility, the WBC, which once were held in the utmost regard, the most prestigious title you could own, their reputation is now pretty much in the gutter for many different reasons. So the board are well within their rights, and I agree that Ben shouldn't fight in this country and shouldn't be given a licence renewal till he has proved his innocence, in which he has done already in a hearing with VADA and to the WBC, regardless of what you think of the WBC. So, from that degree, he's clear there, but he hasn't cleared it to the board. Now, he himself and Hearn are only going down the avenues afforded to them by the system itself. They are following the corridors to clear his name, and those corridors are open to them by way of the process. So you could argue they're doing it correctly. For me, what they should have done is this 4,000-page novel, apparently proving his innocence beyond dispute, should have been given to the board and the public at the first opportunity. And this would have all been put to bed if it does clear his name in the way that it says it does. But no, and here we are finding ourselves now with another hearing in January or February, where they're going to have to go through the process again because the board are, and rightly so, trying to uphold the decision to not let them fight in the UK. So that's where we are on that front. There's also a lot of misconception, especially, I mean, Talk Sport and Catroll are one. When they talk about the PED, but kind of have no knowledge of the actual substances themselves. Now, I'm pretty right, I believe, in thinking, you might comment if you're wrong, if you're an expert on this subject, but Clomid is a substance. Clomid essentially is what's called a PCT therapy drug. Now, PCT therapy, post-cycle therapy, is where you will use a substance, as in Clomid, to bring your natural testosterone levels back to where they should be after doing a course of anabolics. What happens is when you inject either intramuscularly or orally synthetic testosterone into your body, your natural body's production of testosterone lowers. It monitors the levels and realizes that the levels are already where they should be, and rather than overproducing, it will shut down or slow down or limit its own production of testosterone to the point of very low levels, or almost to the point of ceasing production as a whole. What post-cycle therapy does is almost, I'm condensing this, is a lot more technical than this, but it's kick-starting your natural production of testosterone to get it back to where it should be prior a course of anabolics. So Clomid is not used as a performance-enhancing drug. It's a drug used after the use of a performance-enhancing drug to get your testosterone levels to where they should be. Now, if we use that logic, that would suggest that Benn's use of Clomid came post the cycle of a genuine performance-enhancing anabolic. Now, if you think about the time periods, 2 courses you're talking about, a course of PCT and a course of anabolics, that's quite a period of months and then some. Now, testing can be almost bi-daily, bi-weekly, bi-monthly. So you would think if that was the case, he would have popped for the course of anabolics as well. Not only that, it then brings into question the quality of UKAD's testing, because if it doesn't, now I'm assuming UKAD doesn't test for Clomid because Clomid isn't specifically a performance enhancing drug. I'm assuming that's why it's not on its list. But it does beg the question, how many other people have slipped through the seemingly gaping hole in UKAD's drug testing net? Because if they don't test for Clomid, what else don't they test for? Who knows? I mean, that's a question for another day, isn't it? So that's where we are currently. And like I said, I do not condone the use of PEDs in sport. I think Benn and Hearn have not gone about this in a very good way at all. Hearn's publicly said that the way they've handled this hasn't been good. The choice for Benn to go on Piers Morgan was an absolutely suicidal move. Whoever thought that was a good idea, I do not know. But I do think there's 2 sides to every argument. And I do think that argument is not always given over. Don't know what you think. I'm sure you'll let me know, because this is a controversial subject, isn't it? But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. As always, interested to hear what you think. And as always, if you haven't already, liked and subscribed. I'm out.